little bit better. Are y'all ready for the first speaker? Awesome. So I looked at the title and I thought this was really cool because the title of this next presentation is My 5-Year Plan. And if someone asked me my 5-year plan, I would tell you that I do not know. I'm just trying to make it till Friday. So what I need for you guys to do is make some noise for Mr. Chris Mueller with My 5-Year Plan.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I'm fairly certain that some of you know. I'm almost positive that some of you don't. I thought I knew the answer to that question. Turns out I had no idea. Took me 8 years to figure it out, or at least get some semblance of it, and it taught me a lot about how I think about success, and I want to share that with you today. Because I've heard a lot about success since I've been here, and it's something that we deal with from a very young age. We know what success looks like from 5 years old on, because we see parents, family members, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles. We see friends, relatives, colleagues. We know what it's supposed to feel like to be successful. So what I did from a very young age is I tried to model myself after what I saw. I went to a school that was good, that got chosen for me. I got good grades, kind of. I went to a good college, kind of. And I was all about checking the boxes. I was going to make it work. I was going to have the best portfolio, the cleanest resume. I was going to be successful. Everything to get to that job interview, right? Where I sit down and they say, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And in my head I went, damn. I don't know. But like any good English major, I knew I could just write until I found my argument. So I just started talking. And it turns out what I decided to start spitting about looked an awful lot like The Office, right? I was gonna work with some people I loved. I was gonna work with some people that annoyed me. I was gonna work 9 to 5. I was gonna change students' lives because I wanted to be a teacher, right? I was gonna feel good about it, and I was gonna have just enough drama and comedy to be interesting at Thursday night at 9 p.m. I don't know when The Office is on. And it turns out my nonsense worked. I got the job. What's up? I was going to be a teacher. I was going to teach theater, much to my parents' dismay, who wouldn't let me go and study theater. I was going to change students' lives. I was on the road to success. I knew what it looked like. I knew what it felt like. I was going to make it work. But what actually happened was that my office looked like this. And my classroom was in Kansas. And I was driving my parents' car and I was broke. And I had just broken up with my girlfriend, so I was alone and 1,200 miles away from my family, sitting in my apartment thinking, what the hell happened? It's not supposed to feel like this. It's not supposed to be this way. I felt like a failure. I was sitting in my apartment scrolling my Facebook feed Friday nights, because that's what you do in Kansas when you're alone. And I was watching my friends get much more interesting jobs in much more interesting places, making much more interesting amounts of money, and thinking I did everything I was supposed to do. What went wrong? And about that time, I was also watching my 15 and 16-year-old students in my academy-based high school be forced to select a career, because you gotta know. You gotta figure it out. You gotta have it together. And I watched the stress and anxiety and pressure that all of them felt. And I started to have this existential crisis. So like anybody having an existential crisis, I went to grad school. And I found student affairs. And they welcomed me with open arms. And grad school made it worse, because I went backwards. I was a grad student. I was a child again. I had to learn it all. I had to figure it all out. And through all of those meetings, what I found myself learning in grad school was that there is something called really unhealthy professional competition. That long hours and long days mean good work. And that we are creating a life for our students where they are so stressed and scared and terrified of being wrong or not knowing that they don't have time to recognize that maybe it's okay to be lost a little bit. And that resonated with me so hard because I had no idea. I was 25 years old, a grad student, feeling really, really lost. And when I reflected a bit more about it, what it came down to the fact is, when they asked me, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I didn't give a damn where I was. What I really cared about was my impact. When I thought about it, what I wanted to do was do work that I believe in for people that I believe in. And that's a beautiful thing to be able to realize, because it's not tied to any job. I can do that anywhere I want. And once I realized that that's where I wanted to go, I was able to get off this ladder that I put myself on. I wasn't chasing a salary. I wasn't chasing a job. I wasn't chasing a title. I just wanted to do good work for people I believed in. Work that I believed in. And that seems so insignificant. I'm sure you can poke holes in it and be like, well, come on now. But we make this success thing so much harder than it has to be. We fool ourselves into thinking there's a formula that some of us have and some of us don't, when in all actuality, I can probably just do this and none of you have it figured out. Just some of us are better at pretending. But we're creating lives for our students and lives for our colleagues where we feel like we have to measure up. So let me tell you a little bit about this. Changing the script on this and doing work I believe in for people that I believe in allows me to instead, when I envision my 5-year plan, it's not about where do I see myself, right? It's not about what do I get, it's what do I give in those 5 years. I want to do work I believe in for people I believe in. What it allows me to do is be more flexible. My success is not tied to my job. It's not tied to my role. It's not tied to my title. My success can mold to my happiness rather than the other way around, which is where we start to find some real awesome conversations with our students when they realize that there's no magic formula. Just be happy. It'll work. And I know that sounds really fluffy, but when we start to think about it that way, we can celebrate the little wins, which the people in this room, including myself, do not do a very good job of. Celebrating little things, because doing work I believe in for people that I believe in sometimes looks like sending just the right damn email. And sometimes it looks like putting on a program for 600 students that need that program. And the final thing it allows me to do is bring my whole self everywhere I go, because doing work that I believe in for people that I believe in doesn't stop at my office. Because sometimes the people that I believe in are my wife and my daughter and my dog. And sometimes the people I believe in are my brothers at Beta Theta Pi. But I get to do work that I believe in for people that I believe in every single day. And that alone allows me to find success and feel what it's supposed to feel like. And I encourage all of you, because it's what I intend to do, to leave this space and make sure my students understand that your success should be your impact, not your title. And that doing work that you believe in for people that you believe in should be your goal always.
Wow, y'all give it up for Chris. Doing work that you believe in for people.